course you can talk to a manager, but first I'm gonna transfer you to my mom, and I just wanna let you know that she hates you. So I realized in my last video, I never even talked about how I ended up becoming a customer service agent. And the story confuses me too, but once I did graduate from college, there was this expectation that I needed a job, like a job. I mean, I guess I could have been a lifeguard forever. That would have been sexy, but no. So I live in Dallas, and there's actually a lot of headquarters in my area. And my mom has always heard such great things about this company. I wasn't even thinking of applying to them. I don't shop there, so of course it was like out of sight, out of mind. But my mom was like, no, you need to apply there. They're known for paying really well, treating their employees so good, like they've won awards from it. So finally I'm on LinkedIn, and an entry-level job pops up with this company. And it says it's a customer contact coordinator, it's in the customer solutions department, but it's based in headquarters. And usually, like what I've noticed like about 7-Eleven, that they have separate buildings that are the call center. So I just assumed since it was in headquarters, it wasn't customer service. And I'm like, okay, but is it like, I'm so confused. So I read the description, and they keep it really vague. And the fact of like where this position takes place, I'm assuming that I'm kind of working on strategies with the store and behind the scenes stuff with customers. Like I am really confused. My friends asked me like, so what job did you apply for? And I told them, I don't know, but it really seems like customer service. A few days later, my phone rings, and it's the company. Now, in the very beginning of this phone interview that they're giving me, they tell me that this position is not customer service. So I'm even more confused because with that description, and now they're specifically telling me that they are not customer service.
Oh my gosh, Mom, my first interview outside of college. I'm so excited.
That's great, my daughter. Did you ever find out more about the job?
No, because they specifically told me it was not customer service. So I'm more confused than ever, and I have no idea how to prepare for this interview.
But seriously, when I drove over there, I had no idea what I was interviewing for. Like, really, I didn't. But it worked out really well. They liked me, or so they say. I found out later they were making fun of me. Jealousy, obviously. And because one of the supervisors wasn't there, I had to come back a second time. So this was technically my third interview, and then I got accepted. Okay, don't get me wrong. I am not a spoiled brat. I do not mind doing 3 interviews, but can you imagine going through all those interviews and not knowing what the job was at all? like, of course I was super scared during all of them. And then when I do get offered the job, got the phone call, and I was like, yay, even though I, again, no idea how to prepare for this. But they also told me that how much I would make an hour, and it was $14 an hour.
Oh, that's cool. 1 second. Mom, you told me I was gonna be making some good money.
So I walk into training all cute, and guess what? It's customer service. Shocker. And I guess they don't say that they're customer service because they're like, we're a customer solutions department. We also do sales, and you have the opportunity to be trained in designing closets. But for the first year, we're going to assume that you're just gonna do customer service. Like, it was just crazy. And then like a year working into the company, I heard some of the supervisors calling back people to get interviews from them, and they would say the same spiel. This is not customer service. You know what? This is why so many people quit, because you keep telling them it's not when it really is. Also, going back to being paid $14 an hour, I had coworkers that were only paid $12. So you can hit up the internet and you can look up like the average salary based on your location. So I kind of looked up like Dallas customer support agent salaries, and they make $17.50. They're still making more, and not all of them are covered in sales and closet design training. This was a red flag that I did not see. That's not the point of this video, because I'm here to deliver you stories. So one day, I'm chilling at my cubicle and my phone rings. And of course I always do this, but like I said, I have a cute little headset on. I'm rocking, but you know, this is my phone for you guys. And I say hello. and I get this old lady, hello! Okay, that's kind of mean. She's just an old lady on the phone. So the old lady's on the phone and she's frantic and she's mad. Well, everybody's mad who calls the call center, but she's mad and she says that every time she places a call, it gets redirected to our company. And she starts blaming me about like the abuse of tapping into her phone and how she won't tolerate us hacking her like this. I don't believe in laughing at people, but that was really hard not to laugh at because I am like 99% sure she kept hitting the redial button. But also, this company was a bit shaky, so there's always that 1% chance that we are hacking her phone. I really did try my best to tell her, but she just was not having it. She was so set on believing that we hacked her phone, which I'm thinking, first off, that's illegal. Secondly, what company hires somebody like that to do that? You never see that job opening on LinkedIn. And then 3, how did we think we were gonna get a sale out of her from harassing her like that? Like she would just get so beaten down calling us or fall in love with one of our customer service agents that eventually she'll wanna place an order? It just makes no sense. I think she hung up on me and then she called back, but thankfully she got somebody else, which is rare because a lot of times when somebody is angry and they call back, they get me again, and I don't know how. This part I'm just gonna talk about, but in no way am I laughing at that because I get it. But we had a lot of people who were older that called in and it was obvious how lonely they were. I've had so many 2-hour phone conversations with these people. One of them was somebody was crying because they lost their cat and that hadn't been found, and so she assumed that he was dead, and so she was mourning the loss of him. That just broke my heart, and it was so I didn't mind doing that. Sometimes like they'll really go through everything like 3 different times when you know that they understood it, at least the first 2 times, but they're still wanting to talk to you. We had one lady who needed to return items, and of course we sell containers and bins. So if you look at an order confirmation, it's not helpful at all. It's like brown bin. If you look at an order confirmation, it's like black bin with white lid, black bin, that's the biggest bin. Like it's so hard to tell. So I told her, just put the items that you want to return back in the box, put in the order confirmation, and then our people in the distribution center will sort that out and get the refund. Oh no, I had to hear about the entire list 3 times over. I remember we were there an hour and a half after closing. The lights were going off. The point person was looking at me like, and I'm thinking, it's so hard when you try to cut off a conversation when people are just craving it. Like they'll talk over you. They don't even care how this conversation is created. So you would be surprised how many people over email and chat get aggressive. So one time there was this lady and she received damaged items, so she paid UPS to ship it back to a distribution center. However, if she would have just called us to let us know, we would have purchased the label and arranged for a UPS pickup. So there would have been no payment needed for her to return the items. So one of my coworkers got her initial email and she felt so bad. So she said, hey, can you send us a screenshot of the receipt to show how much you spent with UPS, and we'll make sure to send you a gift card of the same amount, just as a little courtesy and that we feel bad about it. So what she decides to do is send us the order confirmation. So it has nothing to do with the UPS receipt. And since my coworker is out of town, I now get these emails and I'm responsible for responding to her. I kindly let her know, hey, what you sent us was actually the order confirmation. That's great. However, I need to see the UPS receipt so I can document that to generate this gift card. She sends back the order confirmation again. This is where it gets tricky because I'm trying to accommodate this customer with what was agreed upon with the first agent. I don't want to undermine my coworker, so I'm trying to stick with this, but she is not understanding it at all. And by now with her second email sending the same thing, same, order confirmation again, she's starting to get mad. So I show it to my supervisor because sometimes my best ideas come from partnering with somebody. And he suggests that I call her because he's like, she's not angry, Lesley. She's confused. And I'm looking at the message. I'm like, she's gonna just chew me out. I can tell, you can read it right there. Don't be telling me she's not going to. You don't win anything with your supervisor. So I get on the phone and I call her And right away, she is angry, she's screaming at me, and then she starts talking about how she's disabled in a wheelchair. But here's the thing, I can't see these people in real life, they can't see me. So I don't care if they're disabled or not. I care about people who are not yelling at me. I agreed with her, I never pointed out her error, I did what she wanted, but you better believe I went to my supervisor and I was like, she screamed at me, and now my shift is done, so I'm gonna go cry in the car, and that's what I did. Like, really, that's what I did. Then there was another time when I was a little chat agent, and I had a customer message in, and they were just being real vague about needing to report somebody. And I don't know what that means because, you know, there's headquarters, and there's the call center, and then we have stores all over the US with people. Like, I did not get what they were saying, but they said that they had an employee that acted inappropriately. And so I'm thinking, oh, golly gosh, okay. Like, so send an email my way. I let my supervisor know. And then once we investigated it, we realized that this customer had been harassing, screaming, promising to get this person fired. And it was this customer service agent that I personally knew. And she was so nice. She was more timid than me in some ways. Not saying that she wasn't confident, but based on her demeanor, like, she would not be one to be malicious in any sort of way. So of course I promised this customer, like, oh, we're gonna pass this on to the CEO. Well, in reality, my supervisor made like a fake email that made it look like it was high up corporate sending it. And he was like, thank you, we will, definitely be looking into this, some investigation, thanks for the feedback, this and that. And that was it. Did not offer a gift card. And then we were just like, we're never gonna see that again. Don't get me wrong, if there's a legit complaint by a customer, it is taken seriously. I take it very seriously because I'm very critical already of the company that I was working for. And so I was assertive about getting things done. But if you're a brat, you're not gonna get rewarded. I was allowed to hang up on people, but I actually never did. And at the time I took a lot of pride in it, but I realized that was pretty foolish. Because I've noticed just in general when it comes to America, we, for some reason, take pride in being exhausted. It's all about the hustle and the determination. And that is what represents your value. But that's not true. I should have been taking care of my mental health. But I think what was also hard about it is the people from management love to talk bad about me. They always questioned me. They kind of deemed me as kind of like a slut of the office, which made no sense. I will let you guys know in a future story time about that one. And also they were really critical about me being a millennial, which I found kind of dumb because the director had a daughter who was about my age. And there were other millennials working there. We also sold to businesses, so we would sometimes get corporate people calling us, and they would be in like some big name companies, and you could always tell which ones of them like had dropped the ball where they made like a purchase order really late, so there was no room for error. So if like something went wrong, which of course everything went wrong, they would call and they would scream at us as well. And I just found that super odd and unprofessional because it's like right in front of me to see where they worked. You would think, business to business, that they would be extra friendly, but that's not always the case. I know this happens everywhere, but people love to complain on social media. I don't know if they're thinking that they're going to have their tweets go viral and it's going to be a dramatic takedown of the company and they're going to get some fame, or maybe they're going to get some money or a gift card and we're going to be like, we're going to pay you off to delete your tweet. Like, no, we don't care. We've had some company, like some tweets that kind of target us, like that, an employee was racist, this and that. Oh, geez, that was a bird. I can't remember what I was saying because then the bird hit the window, then my mom was like, when are you gonna be done? Basically, nobody ever exposed us to a degree where our company was in the news and our stock dropped. So that was kind of good, especially because I was kind of working on social media, so that would not have been a good look for me. There was one guy who was so mad about how his closet installation went that he would continuously post on our Facebook. And then if somebody else posted about like something else, something about them, he would then go under that post and like leave his own comment, trying to get everybody to hate us. So we ended up hiding him. I don't think we blocked him. I think we just hid him, so he is still able to post on our page, but nobody sees it. And I'd be surprised, like, he could be posting to this day and have no idea that it's completely hidden. So a lot of our technology and methods were pretty archaic. There was this voicemail system set up, which takes forever because somebody has to sit through and listen to these voicemails, and sometimes that was me. But there was an option to leave a voicemail, like you press a number if you want to unsubscribe. And like let's say you wanted to no longer get our catalogs. Well, there were instructions on the voice recording that says what information we need in order to unsubscribe you. But here's the deal. When you leave the voicemail, you need to give us information that's connected to the information we have. So if you never use this phone number with us and that's your phone number, like we can't unsubscribe you. So there would be people who would call and they'd be so angry because it would be like their 5th time calling us, threatening to report us to the Better Business Bureau, and they'd be screaming, and I'd have to look and like listen to it scream in my ear, and they'd be like, get me off the list, this is the 7th time I'm calling, this is abuse, this is illegal, this and that. Then they would hang up, and I still would have no idea who they were. like whose fault is that? And of course we had those customers who had quite the reputation of abuse of the customer service agents. Something was always broken, and it's fine, but like always broken, and they were seeking a free replacement because that's what we did, or they were always pushing us around trying to get gift cards out of us. This just happened all across the board. I feel like a lot of people do this to just like some degree. There was worse cases, but nothing comes to mind just because it was really just a typical day having customers like that. Lastly, I want to address the question everybody kind of wonders is, do customer service agents talk and laugh at these customers? So to a certain degree, yes, but we also don't have time to be laughing at every individual person. Oftentimes what will happen if I get a crazy customer and I pull up their profile and I see contact notes and I see like other coworkers have talked to them, then it's like an inside joke, like I gotta get on that. So I'll send them a message through like an instant messenger and I'm like, guess who I have, you know? And I'll say it, but like it's nothing like what this company does that's any different than any other company. They're always, you know, if they have the time, they're laughing about something because our lives are so miserable. Like they are. Just such a morbid environment. Like even if the company I worked with had better management, that still wouldn't make the actual duties of my work good. So, okay, that's enough for you guys. I know this video was all over the place, but the list of confessions I have about a customer service agent are really just all over the place because you find yourself wearing so many hats, dealing with so many situations, and so I kind of wanted to cover somewhat of an inside scoop. I'm always down to make more videos that expose the life of a customer service agent. So you just have to let me know in the comments below, you know, what you want to hear about, ask me some questions, and I gotcha. Subscribe to join the fam bam, and I love you, I mean it, bye. Suck the laugh right out of my face. I'm gonna go cry in the car, and that's what I did. Like really, that's what I did.